Hello YouTube, my name is Octopus Joey, and I'm not a big Sonic fan. Now I don't hate most of the games, but I do think that most of them are pretty severely flawed. But I'm not here to discuss why Sonic the Hedgehog is a dead franchise and has been since the very beginning. I'm here to play poorly made Flash games that aren't associated with the series in any way at all. Ah yes, fan-made Flash games. Who needs good games when you have copyright infringement with no quality control whatsoever? But who knows, maybe I'll find some good ones. I probably won't, since I don't even like most of the actual Sonic games, but maybe they'll at least be better than the Mario and Zelda Flash games that I played in previous videos. Let's start with one simply called Sonic the Hedgehog. Now at first I wasn't sure whether or not this would be a browser port of the original game, but then I saw the Sega logo and all of its off-centered glory and knew that this would be something truly special. Whoa, look at all these options! We can play the game, we can go to the website we're already on, there's an option for quality, and that's more than I can say about most Sonic games, and there's also a help link that doesn't work anymore. However, if you click it, it shows related links, such as Sonic the Hedgehog games, and Sonic games to play, and a game online games, and small business email marketing. In the real Sonic the Hedgehog, you build up momentum as you run, and your goal is to maintain a high speed while collecting rings and dodging obstacles. However, this game completely throws away the speed element that the original games claimed to be designed around, even though there are obstacles that you can't see coming because of how fast you're going. You know what? I'll give this game the benefit of the doubt. There's a static background image that isn't cropped to the aspect ratio of the window in this game. In other words, this game is kind of ugly. Also, the textures don't loop properly, the music doesn't loop properly, and also, this spring. Sounds great, right? You can run off the edge of the map, and if you do, Sonic will fall forever! Oh well. Or you could just defeat Dr. Robotnik for no reason and find out that this game only has one level. Great. Oh boy, an upgrade! We're going from Sonic the Hedgehog to Super Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, it's basically a bunch of garbage thrown together and called level design. But hey, at least this game has momentum and speed. Other than that, there's really not much to say. Like the first game, it's very short, but this time it's 2 levels instead of 1. Super. Also, there's absolutely no sound except for this one obstacle. I have no idea why this is the only sound they added, but it is. Next up, Sonic saves Mario. Mario is drunk. Help Sonic drive his friend Mario to his home. So you're controlling Sonic's pickup truck with Mario in the back and trying to make sure he doesn't fall out. Meanwhile, he just kind of flops around in the back, but as long as he doesn't fall out, you're fine. I don't really have much to say about this one. It's pretty funny, but not really original. It is pretty great seeing this ragdoll version of Mario bouncing around constantly, though. Sonic Thunder Ride. The story of this game is that Sonic and Amy Rose are on a mission to find whoever drew them without actually animating them, so that they can run them over with a bike. Now, those of you who saw my Mario Flash Games video from a couple years ago may remember me using that exact same joke when I played a game called Mario Bus. And that's because this is the exact same thing as Mario Bus, but you're on a bike, meaning it's a lot easier to flip over. And even though there's an explosion animation when you die, there isn't an explosion sound effect. But you know what sound effect does play? A slide whistle. A slide whistle in the place of an explosion sound. The music is also very compressed and loops way too early at a very awkward point. Poorly looped music seems to be a theme here. Next game, Sonic Lost in Mario World. When Sonic woke up one day, he decided to take a walk in his beautiful world without his wife knowing it. Wife? What wife? This wife? That's not a wife, that's a stupid fangirl or something. But suddenly he saw a blue spinning circle right above him. He jumped in it and... everything was strange and black all around him when he spinned through the circle, which was actually a portal to another dimension. But wait, if Sonic only traveled to one dimension, why does he still appear in a 2-dimensional space? Some seconds later, he felt ground under his feet, but it was other ground than the ground of his homeland. Very observant, Sonic. I know that when I walk far away from home, my first thought is, this is ground other than ground of my homeland. Anyway, Sonic is in the Mario universe now. Why so many of these Sonic games take place in the Mario universe, I'll never know. Anyway, in this alternate universe, you jump super fast and fall slowly like you're on some kind of feather wearing rocket shoes or something. The hit detection in this game is absolute garbage, and I think that this Koopa that is now walking inside the earth would agree with me on that one. If you jump on a Koopa, no matter how precise you are, and even if you hit it in the exact right spot, you will probably die. About 30 seconds into the game, you're already fighting Mario, and guess what? He's impossible. I tried jumping on him, throwing things at him, nothing worked. You know, I've criticized a lot of these game over screens in Flash games before, calling some stupid and others lazy, but I don't think I've ever called one forgetful. You died. Now Sonic will never see his beloved homeland again. Oh, there is one way. Enough of this crap. Let's play Sonic X-Treme. I don't know what this is. Am I just pushing some things out of the way? I don't know. Well, this game is a complete eyesore. You see, most 2D games run at about 60 frames per second, but Flash games usually run at about 30 frames per second. The minimum frame rate that can be perceived as motion is usually around 16 frames per second. This game runs at 12 frames per second. In other words, it looks like a fast-paced slideshow. Also, there are Mario sprites for some reason. There's no momentum mechanic, the controls are very sensitive, and this is what happens when you die. Also, I died for no reason at the end. I just landed on a platform normally, heard a baby cry or something, and then I was dead. You know what? Why don't we just play a game with no animations at all? Like Sonic Character Designer. You can choose so many different options for customizing your own Sonic character. This is my OC that I threw together in about 4 minutes. Since every Sonic character has the word "the" in their name, I've decided to name him Bad the Mistake. Oh, and you can even randomize your character. This is my randomized OC. I named him Worse the Mistake. Or how about another game with no animations, Amy Rose Dress Up. You can dress up Amy Rose in about 5 different things. Isn't that amazing? Alright, back to the games that actually have some sort of purpose. In Sonic Love Hunter, Amy Rose is Sonic's girlfriend for no reason, and you have to save her for no reason, and you have to do that over and over for no reason. First of all, Amy Rose is not Sonic's girlfriend. Second, why is Sonic even wasting his time? Doesn't he know that love is only a scam to sell chocolate? Third, the game lags like crazy every time the screen scrolls up. Fourth, every level has the same background that looks like it should act as platforms, but it doesn't. Fifth, the sprites are way too big for the levels and the hit detection is kind of weird. Anyway, if Amy Rose is Sonic's girlfriend, would that mean that this game takes place between Sonic Adventure and Sonic Lost in Mario World? I have this figured out. Sonic and Amy get married after this. It's official. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Don't play this one. Instead, play Sonic Gravity Adventure. Sonic Gravity Adventure is a puzzle platformer where instead of pressing space to jump, you press space to change gravity directions. Now I know this isn't an original concept, it's just VVVVVV with Sonic, but it still has some fairly unique puzzles and is very well designed for a Flash game. Although there is a weird glitch. If you hold left or right when the level starts, Sonic just flies out of existence and dies. Still, this is a pretty good Flash game, and it gives me hope that there might be some better ones. Sonic Kaboom in Mario World. Well, this is gonna be terrible. Your goal is to click on Sonic and move the rocket to a Mario enemy in a certain amount of time, and you also have to avoid some obstacles along the way. This isn't a horrible concept, but this is the 3rd level. It might be because I'm left-handed but right-handed with a mouse. It might be because my mouse sensitivity is too high. It might be that my mouse is a little too small for my hands. But I just cannot complete this level. And once I finally did, the levels didn't get any better. It's just the same stupid stuff over and over. Let's try Sonic Star Hunter. Okay, I gotta ask, what exactly am I playing? I see Sonic here, but I also see floating grass, and the sun right next to the moon, and these slime things with big eyes that have never been in anything related to Sonic before. And what is the sound effect? Why is it so loud? And why does it play every single time you jump? The gameplay is nothing like Sonic. First of all, once again, there's no momentum mechanic, and you just walk at normal speed. Gotta go in average speed. The jumps are too precise, you can outrun the screen very easily. What else is there to say? It's bad. It's probably the worst Sonic Flash game there is. There is a Sonic Flash game called Sonic vs. Dogs. Sonic vs. Dogs. Yep, I've found it. The worst Flash game I have ever played, Sonic vs. Dogs. Look at the title screen for a second. This dog looks stupid, and this Sonic looks even stupider. He doesn't have a mouth for one thing, he's also chubby and has tiny arms. Anyway, your goal is to, I don't know, get to a house or something while avoiding dogs? If a dog touches you, game over. If you pick up one of these giant electric Skittles, the nearest dog will disappear, and then respawn in 5 seconds. Of course, the Skittle doesn't respawn, meaning you have to get out of the dog's path as quickly as possible. But I think you're required to collect all the Skittles, because when I got to the house, it was blocked off by a blue bar. Trying to collect all of them is a big problem when there are 2 dogs near each other, because you need to time it in a very specific way so that you can get past both of them. Early on in the game, it seemed like sometimes the game would just end for no reason at all. Do you want to know why the game ended just there? The dogs can respawn on you and end the game instantly. Great! Also, the dog's hitboxes are really bad. Look at this, he wasn't anywhere close to me. Oh hey, I can enter my name and submit my score if I want to. I'm not gonna do that, but if I did, let the record show that I am from all countries! Did I mention that the timer doesn't reset when you restart the game? Also, this music. It's a 7-second loop played over and over. Since almost every game so far has been a complete disaster, let's try a game that doesn't even have Sonic in it. Tails Nightmare. For once, the graphics aren't ripped straight from any game. They're actually original. They don't look amazing, but it's definitely a step up from those static images ripped straight from the original games. And the music doesn't sound compressed and actually loops at a good time. One thing I really like about this game is that it plays like a Sonic game at its core, but it still stands out from the franchise. It's a platformer, you collect rings, it has Sonic controls, but you can fly because you're Tails. But it also has a much darker tone to it and focuses more on the platforming than the speed. And unlike any Sonic Flash game I've played before, the presentation is actually good. This is a great fan game from what I've played so far, but if you want a good Sonic Flash game that plays more like Sonic, there's Ultimate Flash Sonic. Ultimate Flash Sonic is a pretty faithful fan-made Sonic game modeled after the Sonic Advance series. The level design, the controls, the gameplay, everything feels like a real Sonic game. I'm actually really impressed. My only problem with the game is that you can't see far enough ahead of you, and that's a big problem when you're going fast. However, for the most part, there aren't that many enemies or traps that you can run into without enough reaction time. If you want to play a good Sonic Flash game, this and Tails Nightmare are the ones to look for. Well, those are all the Sonic games that I have the patience to play. I think compared to some of the other Flash games I've played so far, the Sonic Flash games are very mixed. While the Mario Flash games ranged from playable to good, and the Zelda Flash games ranged from playable to bad, the Sonic Flash games have a lot of bad and a lot of good. The bad still outweighs the good, but that's kind of to be expected from copyright infringement that has no quality control. Either way, I would just stick with the actual Sonic games. Sure, Flash games are free, but they're never as good as the real thing. And even if they are, their existence isn't entirely legal, so there's that. Anyway, my views have been down recently, and I need to make a longer video with less effort. So I think it's about time that I start working on my 3rd Roblox video. My name is Octopus Joey. Bye. Also subscribe to 1P3P. It's a channel where me and 2 other losers play video games with 3 controllers controlling the same character. Alright, bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and click either of the videos on screen for more. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/octojoey and follow me on social media at twitter.com/octojoey and facebook.com/octopusjoey.